ancient Egyptians did not build the Giza pyramids. My name is Alexander, and in this episode we are going to talk about why were the ancient Egyptians not the true builders of the Giza pyramids, and why the modern science is telling us that they were while actually could not have been. We are going to talk about the evidence supporting the official version of the ancient Egyptians building the Giza pyramids and the contradictory evidence of it. And actually, according to the modern Egyptologists, the three Giza pyramids located on the Giza plateau in Egypt were built during the 3rd millennium BC by the three pharaohs, the Khufu, the Khafre, and Menkaure. But actually, all this theory is based on the false assertion of a Greek historian, Herodotus, who first told us that those three pyramids were constructed by those three pharaohs, and actually Herodotus' account is not credible at all. His histories are full of inconsistencies, of false information, and maybe of lies. So telling that the Great Pyramid and the pyramids of the Giza Plateau were built according to the account of Herodotus is really absurd if he was such a storyteller and creator of the fairy tales, right? And only other source who supports Herodotus that those three pharaohs, the Khufu, the Khafre, and the Menkaure, built the pyramids in Giza is the account of Manetho, who actually was basing his claims on Herodotus. So as we see, all comes back to the Herodotus. But actually there are no other evidence of it, and the other evidence that modern science tells us that it is the evidence that supports the claim of Herodotus are actually false. Let's start with the smallest pyramid, the pyramid of Menkaure. So after finding an inscription on the lid of the coffin inside the pyramid of Menkaure, the Egyptologists were astounded that they found the actual evidence that the claims of the Herodotus are actually right. But it turned out that this coffin was not dated to the times of the building of this third, the smallest pyramid on the Giza plateau, but actually this coffin was from the later times and was produced by the pharaoh who also was called the Menkaure. And even though this pharaoh was called Menkaure, there was no other account that there existed any Menkaure in the past during the building of that pyramid. When it comes to the Khafre, nearby his pyramid there is a temple called the Temple of Khafre, and actually in that temple there were found some small figurines which were buried there, and they were bearing the name of Khafre. But actually what the evidence it is, so we find in a monument some clay figurines which are telling us some name, and we claim that this whole monument and the nearby pyramid is built by the Khafre. It's totally absurd, right? It's like finding after hundreds of years some modern souvenirs that tell us that this is, for example, the Egyptian Museum, and we say that this building was called the Egyptian Museum and that the builders of it was the Egyptian curator of the museum, whoever, right? So it is totally absurd. When it comes to the biggest pyramid of Khufu, it's also called Hefren, actually there is any single inscription inside of it. There is only one inscription inscribed in the red ochre in the very, very high parts of the Great Pyramid, and actually this inscription, as found by many researchers, may be actually a hoax created by a Colonel Howard Wise in the 19th century. So this evidence is also not a valuable and credible evidence because it may be a hoax. There is a large amount of possibility that it is a hoax. and there are no other traces of the builders of the Great Pyramid, of those three according to the Herodotus. So as we see, those three builders may not have built the Great Pyramid, and actually the modern version of the Egyptologists concerning the construction of those three pyramids may actually be wrong. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. That's all for today. Thank you, and to the next video. Goodbye.